Hello, good evening, Ibro.
Yeah, hi. I'm on my way, so I can only take part.
No
Without
problem at
people.
all. It's just you, me, and Dale so far. So we're 5 minutes into our time, and I'm just gonna wait another a few minutes and we'll go from there. Oh, there we go. We have Muriel.
Yeah, erstmal hi Fatma, hi Dale.
Hey, Brew.
Welcome, Muriel.
Hi,
Nice to see you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm happy to be here on time. Right day, right time.
Miracles happen.
And I really appreciate the question, what you offered, Dale, what the worst would happen. When I saw that, I thought, okay, it's interesting. And how are you?
Which you?
Well, I was with Fatma then,
Yeah,
and then it was you. So,
that's you. I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, I'm really good. I'm good to see you again.
yeah.
Been a while.
Yeah, it's been a new course. I can't even remember when, but that was with yeah, I see her face from Israel, I think. I'm not sure. Don't know.
Was it with Eleni?
No, I don't know.
Alexandra? I mean, that's all I've done e-courses with, so.
No, so maybe it was not you.
Maybe I
But
was in.
I know I saw you, but I can't remember when.
Oh,
And you do remember?
maybe it was an Ernest thing. I don't know. Oh, well, here we are. We think.
Actually, maybe you saw Ernest is going, I'm building something with him in France, south of France.
Oh, fun.
Did you see that? Beginning of August? Yeah. Well, he will facilitate, but I'm organizing this. Yeah. Are you
Nice.
going to the summer camp?
I don't have any plans. I try to keep it as immediate as possible, so
Yeah.
we'll see what unfurls.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm thinking maybe we'll just get started and I think we all know each other, but I don't know Ibru. Maybe we'll do a round, go around and introduce ourselves, how long we've been in the work, where we're calling from, and what's in your heart right now. So I'll start. I'm Fatma. I've been in the work since 2008. I live in the Toronto area in Canada. And in my heart right now is the desire to serve and the fear of not knowing what to do. Who wants to go next?
I will, I guess. So I'm Dale. I'm in North Carolina in the States. And what was how long? Yeah, a long time. 2003, I did my first school. And in my heart, let's see what's in my heart. Yeah, a little excitement, a little my heart. I don't know, there's just a bunch of love floating around.
Thank you, I can continue. So I am Muriel. I live in Geneva in Switzerland, the French part of Switzerland. I've been doing the work since 2016 and did my first and last 9 days school in Germany, as I couldn't do the second one in Montreal because of COVID. But I've done a 5-day school since in California, so that was great to go there. And what is in my heart is I'm noticing how obvious it is for me to join. And I see that as the love for the work and the happiness to be part of this community. So yeah, I'm really happy to be here. And I appreciate this space. Thank you.
Thank you, Muriel. And Ibru, I know you're traveling. Do you feel like saying a few words, or do you want to leave that for another time?
I leave it. Thank you.
Okay. So I will share some slides with you that may be new or maybe repetition. And please feel free to stop me and ask questions. And then we'll go through a few things, and I'm hoping to do inquiry just as Dale invited us to. And Dale, if you're okay, I would love for you to lead us through that exercise. Awesome. So why we are here, the work community, us together. The background is a little bit of background for anybody who doesn't know. Carver has been in the work for years and years. And he has identified a need, like over the years, he identified a need for a space where anybody could find the amount of information, like very little or a lot, to immerse themselves in the work. At the time that he started doing this, there were 3 entities. I'm just going to call it that, 3 entities. There was Institute for the Work, ITW. There was Byron Katie International, so BKI, and the website is thework.com. And then the Work Foundation. And that's where I don't know exactly where the lines are between the Work Foundation and the work.com, all of that knowledge. But those are the 3 main entities around the work. And when ITW went back to where it came from on the day that Katie made that announcement, Carver opened up his website, theworkcommunity.com. He paid for that website, invited everybody into WhatsApp groups. He started the WhatsApp communities. So with the intention, with the purpose of this, moving the work in the world. And so the purpose, as described here in the slide, is to create a supportive and inclusive and community committed to the practice of self-inquiry through the work of Byron Katie. And the aim is to provide a safe space for individuals to explore and grow their practice share their experiences within the work, fostering a culture of open dialogue, self-compassion, and transformation. And our community values diversity, respect, and the principles of facilitators of the work. That includes the practice of self-inquiry and self-realization. So in short, we're here to do the work for our own self-realization, nothing else. And our goals is to do the work, and that's for me to do my work. The work in these subcircles, as we're kind of embarking on figuring out what it looks like and what it feels like, what the work is limited responsibilities. This is not a full-time job. There is no payment. This is just about having a platform to gather and follow simple instructions. It's completely volunteer run. Right now, we're trying to figure out how we can use sociocratic principles to move things forwards. But like it hasn't really, like there is no real structure in place. What we're doing is, and I'm calling us we, but it's just a handful of volunteers where we just kind of submitted our availability through the workcommunity.com website, just like you have, and started doing things. So that's the we. Nobody's really, has any detailed knowledge of what's happening or systems or governance or anything like that. There's nothing like that in place. So the decisions that have been made so far and the principles that we're using is, if it's good enough for now, it's safe enough to try, and it supports our purpose, we're doing it. And the other principle is that we're always working together, at least co-represented with someone within a volunteer circle. So nobody's ever alone. And we move in a slow pace, meaningful and creative way. And when we speak to each other, we listen to each other and we pass the mic. And when issues come up, we deal with them. We don't try to figure out problems when they're not present. So no need to figure out anything for the future. Any questions so far? Any feedback? Okay. So here we have a table outlining what the work community is and what it's not. And it's comparing services by the different entities. So Byron Katie International, BKI, Institute for the Work, and the work community, and then former, in brackets, facilitators, certified facilitators. So the school, be it 9-day, 5-day, whatever day, is always been and always will be BKI. Institute never offered that. We will never offer that as the work community. The resources for the work that exist on thework.com, the worksheets, the supporting materials, the little book, all of that housed under BKI, not ITW and not for us. We are just pointing to everything that exists on that website. And to BKI, we're not doing anything other than that. And then in terms of finding a partner, the space and the structure to find a partner is not available on BKI. It used to be available for members only in ITW, and that now this is available for everyone in the work community on the website and in the WhatsApp groups. Event listings used to be available through the ITW on the work.com. That's no longer available. That is available in the work community. Facilitator listings, similar to the event listings. The work for breakfast was a concept that was implemented through the ITW for members only. And now it's available through certified facilitators. And the listings are available on the workcommunity.com. Similar with the one-for-one partnering, you have all gone through cycles of one-for-one. That was available through ITW. The format, the curriculum, the housing, all of that stuff. That's not part of the work community to develop the curriculum, but finding partners, there's going to be a way to make that available. Certification is not something that the work community will ever do. The work community is not here, just wanted to make sure that this is clear, that the work community is not here to replace ITW. The helpline is now on Byron Katie International on the work.com. It used to be offered through the Institute for the Work. eCourses, which is this subcircle, the curriculum is not created by the work community. It used to be created by ITW, and now the facilitators, the trainers have those curricula, as Katie said during that announcement. So Meijing just joined. I'm going to admit her. Hi, Meijing.
Hello.
Hi. I'm just in the middle of things, so I'll catch you up when I've run through this. Is that okay?
Okay.
Great. So on the kind of eCourse curriculum, you may have also heard Katie say that she would be posting them just like her other resources, like the worksheets, for free on the work.com. We do not have a timeline on that, what it's going to look like or anything. So that's why there is a question mark there. ITW used to have the space and the structure to deliver those courses and have the forum and grading and all of the beautiful things that house the e-courses. The work community doesn't do that. That'll be part of the trainers' jobs. What the work community does is offer the listings. The other things that the work community does that neither BKI or the Institute did is a listing of all the associations that are active throughout the world, like the association in France or in Germany or in China or Brazil. There's many of them, and so there's lots of work trying to find those associations and list them. There's also lots of research that's happening, lots of researchers. There's lots of work to create those listings and relationships, and also organizations that are moving the work in the world. So that's organizations like the Thinking Project or Beyond Stigma. And I don't know who else offers the work in a kind of an organizational way. So the work community would be offering listings and relationships for that. So those are the kind of what the work community is and what it isn't. Any questions?
I have
Yes,
one.
my question.
Go ahead, Meijing.
My question is, seems like we don't have a curriculum and we don't have the space structure to deliver. But then we can kind of cooperate with facilitators who will list their e-course in our community, right? We're responsible to post them, but they will handle the class, how it's going on, and then how they filter the students. Because the e-course is not for new beginners, it's for people who attended for ITW or have experience with the work, right?
Yeah, that's the big question. That's the big question. And so thank you for that, Meijing. There is not a lot of clarity on that.
E-course.
As a participant?
Participant and organizer, yeah. I want to learn and then also help.
Yeah. Yeah. And so there's a lot of ambiguity around that. What the posting might look like, what the work community would and wouldn't do on that. And so for now, what has happened is as e-courses are kind of posted by facilitators, the work community provides a listing just on the events page. Currently, that's what's happening. No more than that. And I think the work of this subcircle would be to identify what it's going to look like, what our goals should be, what are, a little bit of that, and also what the process is to posting these e-courses.
No, some e-courses, they are just like around some topic, but there are also e-courses to train people to be able to facilitate others. Those are two different e-courses.
Yeah, you're right. So e-courses, as defined, like as previously defined, were the e-courses, like when we're referring to e-courses, it's the e-courses that used to be available through the Institute for the Work. So there were maybe 10 or so e-courses, topic-based e-courses, and then a series of others. That's what we're talking about in terms of e-courses. There are facilitators that offer other courses, but that's not what we mean here by e-courses.
Okay, thank you for explaining.
No, great question. And Dale, did you want to say something?
I just had a question. On the last slide at the bottom, there was something about the housing. And I just didn't really get what.
This one here?
Yeah, curriculum and housing. That just means just where it's held, like just having the curriculum. Okay.
Yeah, like where is it stored? Like, how we used to go into the Institute for the Work, and that we used to log in and then download the PDF with the instructions on how to do the one-for-one, and also on actually tracking our work on the different kind of worksheets. So it used to be housed in ITW.
Okay.
That's what that means.
Thank you.
And good question. Yeah.
And as far as we know now, the folks who happen to have the co-trainers who happen to have downloaded those PDFs, that's what's being used as people list an eCourse on the work community, is their previously downloaded PDFs as they are from the former Institute for the Work. Just to
You
say,
nailed it. Yes, that's exactly right. So whoever has trained those courses and saved those PDFs, those are the people that have it.
yeah.
So-
Do you know who have those?
No, I don't know who has that. So the only way to find out is when people list it. So when there are former certified facilitators or certified facilitators that want to offer, then you'll know. Then I'll know if that's available. So if I see a listing.
I think Dale Steele is a certified facilitator. I thought he knows.
Well, it's just,
Well,
it's,
oh.
yeah, Mariel.
No, well, I can share for myself. I'm a certified facilitator, and the only thing I know is the one I have, which are two actually, the topic-based and the Power of Turnaround eCourse. And I know who have because I've attended their eCourses. So for example, I know Evie has a couple of more because either I've attended or I plan to attend. So yeah, I don't think. Yeah.
But there is no comprehensive list of
No.
who has which ones or something like that.
Well, we could imagine that the board, ex-board, maybe have all of them. Who knows?
Yeah, and I don't
And
I don't know that. We're not like the board, the former board is not associated with the work community. I guess if Dale or you wanted to connect with the former board and ask them to share that information, maybe they would share it, maybe they wouldn't. I have no idea.
Well, and my feeling is, I mean, the way it seems to be going now is the certified facilitators who were already co-training e-courses through ITW. I mean, of what I've seen, those are the people who are just still doing it through the work community, listing it through the work community. And this is just, and so far as anything beyond that, like making the courses available to anyone else, to me, that's totally BKI's business. That's Katie or whatever. Katie, that's not my business. I don't feel at liberty to, to share the curriculum. So I'll just say that for me. And unless it's somebody who I've, already done courses, unless it's somebody who's already. So I don't see that expanding, but that's just my opinion. I wouldn't know how, I wouldn't feel that I have the liberty to share the eCourse PDF. Since Katie said that, as I heard it, that she would make that available, it's hers to make it available to everyone or not. I don't, and I'm not holding my breath. I'm not, and yeah, that's her call. I mean, that's her call. And
Yeah.
otherwise,
Unknown caller.
Fatma, if you are done with the PowerPoint, could you Yeah, thank you. Then we can see each other a bit bigger. Thank you.
Good idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know that there have, and maybe we'll just play with it. Maybe we'll go ahead and go into what would happen. I know there was a lot of concern about the quality, maintaining the quality of the original curriculums and the scripts. And
Yeah, maybe I'll just give everyone. So we had a meeting on Thursday, last week Thursday, and we looked at some of the work that needs to be done. And some of the work that needs to be done in this sub-circle is to come up with a name, an understanding of how we would have a process of listing eCourses, what that would look like, and then creating standard operating procedures so that volunteers could just simply follow the instructions to list those eCourses. So that would be kind of the beginning of the work that this sub-circle would do. And the feedback that was shared during the last call was we really want to kind of have an active involvement in creating, maintaining, and quality controlling guidelines, and making these available for everyone. And that's, I think, where stress arises, and we need to do what we're here to do, which is to do the work, to question it.
I just don't even see that as our domain. I mean, and if I just look at it personally, if I personally want to adopt or evolve by my own limited imagination of what that might be, an eCourse structure, as far as I know, maybe so far as copyrights, I would need to say this originated from ITW. This is my creative expression of what came from thework.com or BKI or whoever has the copyright, just like following regular copyright laws. But I don't know how anyone could. I don't know how we do any quality control, because this isn't an organization that has that capacity. We're all volunteers, and everybody's just here because they want to be, and there's not even an entrance fee. There's no administration that has any authority to claim anything other than just like, hey, we're here to help each other, support each other on our work and share what we want to share with the work. So I don't even know. I mean, as far as I know now, when an event is listed, there's a checkbox that says something like it's based in the work.
Mm-hmm.
And all we're doing there is people's honesty, and that they just, yep, it's based in the work.
Yep.
That's.
And so what's happening? Yeah, awesome. Like Dale, exactly. Thank you. And what's happening right now is somebody reviews the listing, the submissions through the form, checks the website when the website is linked. So if it's an eCourse or an event, because that's where everything is going right now through the event submissions, check that this is indeed grounded in the work, and people have agreed to the principles for facilitators. That's what's happening right now.
Yeah. And as I hear it, that's as far as it can go. I mean, I don't know, unless, well, for my mind, it's just so much easier to trust a friendly universe. And what each individual, in my mind, what each individual does is their world, their story, their business. And whether they have the PDFs of the curriculum, what they do with those, that's between them and maybe BKI, but it's certainly not any of my business.
Great. Awesome. So I think you should lead us into making a list and questioning it. Dale,
Well,
you
and
ready for it?
I am. And
Yeah,
I've done the
just
second.
before, sorry, Dale, I'm sorry. Well, just before we start, and we will maybe land into this, but I don't know what is there a recording from last time you met, like last Thursday? Did you keep it?
Yeah, I had some difficulties with the recording.
Okay. Thank
What
you.
do
I
you-
was considering this quality thing, those three words that you said, quality, and I can't remember the two others, and then you said, and that where the stress arrive, and I would like to remember those three words, if you mind to repeat them, because as soon as I heard quality, I was like, oh, what what is it?
Yeah.
So if you feel just sharing again those two, if you remember.
I don't know what I said, but I think it was like guidelines enforcement, quality control, and yeah, I don't know what else I said.
Yeah.
Yeah, ensuring some of those.
It's interesting because I hear myself talking about quality sometimes, and now to hear it from you had a different taste.
I completely have how to say agree with what Dale brought up about the quality. I also had a concern about that. And then yeah, but we are doing step by step. I think later, well, everything will be fine. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
So, and I'm not even sure that anyone on this call has the concern about, I mean, what's the worst that would happen? In what scenario that somebody takes the PDF, the script, the curriculum of one of the e-courses and totally screws it up, or totally brings in other things, or I mean, what's the fear? What is the quality that we're concerned might get diluted or be lost?
Do we make a list, individual, or do we just pop up with what arises as you ask that?
Okay, I guess I'll just read and see if anything comes. I wasn't sure if it was even relevant to do this for the people who are here.
I think it's valuable, and I was wondering if we shouldn't even go further to say, well, are e-courses even required? Is there value in the work community offering e-courses or listing e-courses? How was that? Question the very identity of this place.
Yeah.
I actually don't I actually took some e-courses from Chinese community. But I realized that the version they have is more simple than the original one. Like the 141, they translated to Chinese, but they get rid of some. I don't understand why.
Yeah, so I think what you're speaking to, Mijing, is that there are many different kinds of courses available to people. And the e-courses that we're talking about are the e-courses as defined by ITW.
Yeah, I think the one that I attended, they copy from ITW. They got a permission from Katie, but they make it a little bit different. They
Yeah, so
even
then it's not that. Then
Oh,
it's not the
that's
e-courses we're talking about.
Yeah, and the 141 is not an e-course. I heard you saying something about 141, Meiji.
yeah.
So 141 is not the e-course we are talking about.
They offer 101, 201, 202, something like that. 301, 302, 401. That's what they offer.
Okay,
In this community.
I don't know. Okay, thank you.
141 is a after class practice. The requirement you have to finish certain a quantity of the 141 to be verified. They have verifying process also.
Yeah, exactly. So the work community is not in that business of verification. Like there's the Chinese association that is
German,
involved
right?
in that. And then the German association has their coaching and separate kind of maybe certification process. I don't want to call it that, but there are educational streams within those associations as well. So that's not what the work community is. We'll point to it. The work community will list that.
We can list that, right? If someone have that class, we can list that.
Yeah.
And
so yeah.
sorry.
I mean, so far here in America, it was ITW. But ITW already shut down. Maybe someone will organize a group or a website or organization to also certify some people to control the quality. I don't know. If Germany and China can do that, why here some like more facilitators in this country, right? Why can't they do it?
Yeah, maybe, but that's not what the work community does. That's not what this is. It's not a certifying body.
So I'm thinking I'll just read this from the book because it's just so clearly stated. When your statement is about something you think you don't want. So maybe we each come up with an idea of something that we don't want in regard to the eCourses.
What did you read? What that sentence trying to show us?
Just to get in writing what you're not wanting to happen.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, I don't want to get misled by people.
good. And specifically, I mean, since this is the eCourse thing, we're looking at like being misled by an eCourse or
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah.
Where they're trying to taking advantage of Byron Katie's name or reputation to make money for themselves.
Yeah. Yeah, any of those. Those are, yeah. So then once you have something, as you imagine the worst outcome that reality could hand you, I guess that was the sentence actually. Read your statement and imagine the worst outcome that reality could hand you. So just taking a moment. What's the worst outcome that reality could hand you? If what you don't want to happen happens.
Then I'll have to do the work myself. Can't
Yeah.
rely on anyone else.
Yeah, and so
No
then you can.
authority.
What's the stress in that?
Not confident.
What's the stress in that?
Worry my ego will mislead me.
And then what'll happen? I'm just going to again read.
What will happen? A miserable life.
Make a
Painful
list. Make a list of all the terrible events that you think might happen as a result. And so then what happens? Do you have a miserable life?
Yeah, miserable life, painful life, and that's it. That's the worst can happen. Then not getting along well with people around me. Yeah. And the health getting worse because of the negative emotions, constant negative emotions, and then become angry and then angry old lady. Angry old lady. Sarcastic, cynical, angry old lady. Nobody likes me.
And as I'll just continue reading, and then what could happen?
Die alone, sadly. That's the worst can happen. Die alone, sadly, with a lot of illness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I didn't read this like, be a frightened child, don't hold back. And anyway, thank you, Mei-Xing, for, and then of course, as we do our lists and walk it through, we can question each step of the way. Is it really true that if you're misled by an eCourse, that any of that would happen? I mean, that would be the inquiry. We just kind of did this to bring up the list.
Yeah, ultimately, I worry about myself.
Yeah. Of course, as far as I know, that's all. That's it.
I worry about I could not recognize the misleading, and then I mislead myself, and then going worse and worse and worse.
Yeah. So in there, in my mind, is some wonderful inquiry.
What I found very supportive in the work was to not be taught and to stop believing that I could teach anyone to anywhere. So I think one of my fear is to not have that support as much as I believe I needed so far. also as a facilitator. It really supports me in tracking the essence of the don't know mind. And the humility that I found in the work, it can shift quite easily, I think. So, yeah. Like, actually, I'm offering a co-training, an eCourse, and I think I'll ask someone to do the peer review, because even if it's not being asked, I just feel it's worth for me to have feedback. So, yeah, I think it really supports me in finding humility and being in my business more than anything else.
And then if all of that's gone, nothing to know, however you said that, nothing to help guide you back to humility. What do you fear would happen?
To be back in the shoulds and you know, I want you, you should, and I need you, and well, that's part of my daily life anyway. But that's one of the fear, yeah.
And following the fear, just staying with like, okay, there you are, you're shooting everyone, you're doing that. What's the worst thing about that?
Well, it's painful, and I'll find I'll as Meijin shared, I'll maybe left alone. Yeah.
Yeah. There you are, in pain, left alone. And what's the worst thing that could happen?
Sadness. One seeking again for approval. Love and yeah, approbation, approval and love. Being seen, I fear to be caught again in this nightmare.
And there you are, completely caught in the nightmare.
Well, I'll do my work then. Well, I'll still have the full questions are still there anyway. So that's maybe enough we need.
That's where I go, but yeah.
I mean, the full questions are here. So they are, yeah. Yeah, I came to the work from this painful part, so I can go back to the work from this painful part. I mean, I don't need an e-course for that. That's for sure. I don't need an e-course.
Yeah, and for me, that's just so good to know. That I have it in me. And as I track you, all of those things I've already experienced and pulled myself out of and fallen back into and pulled myself out of. The egoic, I know, no humility in sight. I know all those very well. And I have the work.
what I'm seeing now as I have this possibility to give 2 of the e-courses, like the formal e-courses, I can find some arrogance there more than humility.
Yeah. Yeah, just track that, you know, it's like, not only am I arrogant, for me, it's like, not only am I arrogant, I'm quite familiar with that in myself, but everybody sees it. Like I can't hide.
Sorry.
No, I mean, you know, that's it. It's like, it's just, I'm just smearing my arrogance all over the place. I ask for a peer review and it's like, you're too freaking arrogant for me to even consider a peer review, you know, or whatever, wherever the mind would take it. What's the worst?
Yeah. And yeah, I'm seeing that it could be that this is also something to improve myself. This better self, like doing the work, offering e-courses, supportive, the high quality, the high quality of the work. Then I'll be better. I am a good person, part of this.
So like if I'm hearing right, the worst that'll happen is if I don't
I'm
have
a
it.
bit lost with the worst. Yeah, thank you.
Well, is that I mean, what you just said, that I would,
Keep
now
searching. Keep searching for self-improvement. Keep searching. And you know, like as I tracked you with that, I'm gonna keep on reaching what Katie calls the carrot, reaching, and eventually somebody will give me that feedback that I am the worst trainer in the world. I can't do the work, but like something like that. I should never be with people. I should never facilitate anybody. And the worst thing that can happen there is I die of shame and humiliation.
And does it go further?
Give up on life. Shrivel up and die. Yeah, really.
I feel that all the fears are same. That what she said, I also have concerns. Lazarus, me really, yeah. I also worry that I have less support. The day when I heard IDW close, I cried. No more helpline. I was crying for that.
Yeah.
And I was very anxious and then trying to write down the facilitator's contact information before they totally disappear. And I was sick. Later I got sick because of that anxiety. I think I even reached out to you to to Dale. And I was like, Now I realize it's just everyday daily life. I was very regret. Why didn't I know the work earlier? Why didn't I know it earlier? And then I laughed. Because I saw, then how about the newborn baby? They never knew the work, so they're the most unlucky ones. The self-criticism. Oh, why didn't I know work earlier? Why didn't I practice harder before? Why didn't I go to the 9-day school, last 9-day school? Going on and on.
Yeah.
But the reason is, why didn't I go? Many reasons. I couldn't walk back then. Had injury.
Bring it back to this worst that could happen. And actually, I guess I've kind of heard it all, I think. Or each of us has shared. And yeah, I can relate to all of it. So thank you. Thank you, everyone, for going down that road.
Thank you. I like a white blank paper. I'm looking for what will be written on that white paper. Just follow the simple directions, see what's going on next. It's my pleasure being here.
Me too. Me too.
And it's a privilege being a volunteer, can list those e-courses. And actually the privilege is I can know the e-courses the most fresh. I know them. And I know immediately, and then I share. So that's also the privilege of being a volunteer. I get to know the information immediately.
So thank you so much, Dale, for that exercise.
My pleasure.
And the invitation is to question those things. And as we all question these thoughts, I trust that the way emerges, the way of how to move forward in this circle. And rather than talking about, my mind as a project management mind, next steps, decisions, actions, all of that stuff, the invitation is for things to emerge organically, naturally, and see. And we're in touch with each other. We know how to reach each other. So if anybody wants to share 1 or 2 sentences or takeaways, we can do that before we end this call.
Yeah, I just want to thank the community to have this clear goal to do the work. This is something that really supports me in not going into this action doing for any other reason that can be good, but to remember me that yeah, the work is what I ultimately what supports me ultimately is to do it. So thank you. I appreciate that a lot. It supports me in the, I think in the French also community to remind us about that. Yeah. Okay, I'll feel to do that actually. I feel moved to do that. Thank you. This is humility for me. I appreciate.
Thank you, Miriam.
I think what I'm taking away is just the pleasure, the privilege of being with open, inquiring minds that are willing to look where it's not always easy to look. That self-honesty and the environment where where the vulnerability and self-honesty is just totally welcome and supportive and catalytic. Your vulnerability and self-honesty catalyzes my vulnerability and self-honesty, and that to me is the gift of the work community, whether it's through the website or whether it's just the community that I have, or even if it's just the community of me with my thoughts and a piece of paper and the 4 questions and turns. And thank you, Fatma, for having the call, pulling it together and posting it.
Thank you, Dan.
Such a pleasure. Thank you.
And Ibri was saying, thank you all. I'm not in a place to share where she can speak, and but she has heard. And what I'm taking away is trust in not knowing what to do, and a new way of moving things forward. Instead of mind, it's just inquiry is the way. So I'm so grateful for you, Dale, for having the suggestion and taking us through that. It's profound.
Yeah,
Why we're all here.
looking forward for your e-courses.
Thank you very much, and we'll be in touch.
Thank
Bye.
you, Muriel. I saw your message in the group, e-course group. You wrote that, right? A long paragraph, right?